Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm testing out the Revolution and Friends makeup collection, and I have the mirror right here, which I was so excited for. So everything that I purchased, I got it from either Superdrug or I got it from ASOS, just because it was pretty much sold out on the Makeup Revolution website, and I managed to get quite a few things. I got all the eyeshadow palettes, a lipstick, lip gloss, so I feel like I did pretty good, and we're going to go ahead and test them out today. So if you're new to my channel and you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, and also make sure to hit the bell icon just so you're notified every time I upload a new video. So as you guys can see, it is a little bit different with the background today. That's because we are in the middle of changing around my filming room. So at the moment I do have my clothes right here and my wardrobe, and it's very different to what you would have seen before, but hopefully very soon we'll actually get it to how I want to, because I'm going to have my makeup collection behind me as well, just so it looks a lot better and the background looks really good. So if you guys didn't know, Revolution did bring out a whole collection of Friends makeup. They have a mirror, they have eyeshadow palettes, lipsticks and also lip gloss, and I was so excited when I saw that it was coming out because I love Friends. It came out in 1994, that was when I was 1 year old, and my sister was obsessed with it. She had all of the box sets of videos and I keep watching it on Netflix because I used to watch it a lot with her when I was younger, and it's just such a great TV show that I love. So I decided I was going to go ahead and purchase a few things and test out as many things as I could get my hands on, but like I mentioned, a lot of it was sold out, and all of this was purchased by myself, and all opinions are completely my own, because as you guys know from all of my reviews, I will say if a product isn't good and I'll tell you if something is really good. So I managed to pick up as many things as I could from the collection. So I have the Friends mirror, which I think is so cool, and I also picked up all three of the eyeshadow palettes as well. So I have the Monica, the Rachel and also the Phoebe. I also picked up the Monica lip gloss and then also the Monica lipstick as well, just because I feel like that they go really well together, and the colours seem very 90s and ones that they'd wear on the show, and it's also very wearable, so I decided to pick up the Monica one. So if you want to see me test out the Revolution Friends collection, then just keep watching. So we're all zoomed in because the first things I'm going to test out are the eyeshadow palettes, and I really wanted to zoom in so you guys can see exactly how they go on the eyes, see if they're patchy or see if they're any good. I have my new Friends mirror right here, which I'm so excited that I have. So like I mentioned, I have all three of the eyeshadow palettes, and these are all £8. You get the Rachel, Phoebe and the Monica one, to have all three of the ones that they do, and they all look so good. All of them have names that are to do with Friends and their characters, and this is what the front looks like. So it's just cardboard packaging, which I think is really good for travel, so that's what it looks like. Then you also get a mirror, and then these are the shades right here. So the shades that you get are Smelly Cat, Lobster Triplet, Ice Flaky Buffet, Science Boy, Bike and Ditzy. So I like the fact that you have some mattes, you also have some shimmers, and you also have like a pigmented glitter, which I think is a really good thing that they've added. This one is mainly cool tone colours, so as you can see it's mainly blues and purples. And this one is the Rachel palette, and as you can see they all have different pictures on the front, and that is what the front looks like. Again, it is cardboard, you get the mirror and then you get the shades in there. So this one looks a little bit more like a warm toned palette. So you have Shopping, On a Break, Dinosaur, 90s, Barney's, Tag, Chip, Pushover and Crush. So this one is more pinkies, and I don't know, it looks warm and cool. I think it looks more cool tone to me. That is what that one looks like. And then the last one is the Monica palette, and I think this was the one that I was mainly drawn to when I first saw it. So this is the Monica palette, and then this is what it looks like on the inside. So this one is more warm toned. It's more warm toned than the other two palettes. The other two are more cool toned, but this one, the shades you get are Clean, Chef, Gala Cup, Chicken, Twins, Frizzy, Being Obsessive and Thanksgiving. With a frizzy, if you guys watch Friends, then you'll know that it's the episode where they go away and they're doing the ping pong and her hair is just crazy, and I absolutely love that episode, so I'm happy that they actually use that for here. So this one is more browns and reds, so it's more for autumn. It seems like that the colours in Phoebe are very spring, so perfect for when it's springtime because they are very light and very pastel. Then Monica looks like it's more autumn, and then with Rachel, I don't really know, it seems spring and also autumn, and it seems very 90s with this palette, but I do like the fact that they have all of the shades that are to do with the TV show. I also like that you get shimmers, mattes, and you also get a glitter in there as well. So I'm not too sure which look I'm going to do with the eyes. I'm going to try and use as many shades in the palettes as I can possibly. So the first shade that I'm going to take is my transition shade, and I'm using the Phoebe palette, and I'm going to take the shade Ice, which is this one. And then I'm going to take the shade Lobster right here, and I'm going to just make this a little bit more pastel. I definitely prefer Lobster. I feel like that ice, you do need to build it up quite a lot. It does blend out nicely, but I just felt like that I needed to build it up a little bit more than what I'd like. So transition is looking good. Then I'm going to take the Rachel palette and I'm going to take the shade Pushover. This is a vibrant pink and this just looks so nice. We'll see if it blends out, but that is a lot on the brush and that was just one tap. And I'm just going to put this on the outer third. Then I'm going to take the shade 90s right here and I'm going to try and put this in the crease and just blend the two together with the same brush. This one's looking really nice actually. It's like a nice pastel colour. And then I'm going to go back into the Phoebe palette and take the shade Buffet on the crease. So I just want to sort of do a little bit of a gradient, and I'm going to make this a cut crease as well. So I'm just taking some of my concealer and I'm just going to pop it on the inner part. Then I'm taking the shade Shopping out of the Rachel palette and I'm going to put this all over the concealer just to set that a little bit. And then I'm going to take Science Boy and I'm going to try it on my finger. That is pigmented. That was a tiny little bit. So I'm just going to press this on the lid. Now there is a little bit of glitter falling off as you can see down here, but it is a pressed glitter, so we're just going to sweep that away after. Then using the Monica palette, I'm going to take the shades Obsessive and Gala Cup and I'm going to mix them together. And I'm going to put this in the crease. And then just take a little bit more Gala Cup. That's a really nice burgundy shade. Perfect for autumn. Then I'm going to take the shade Thanksgiving and I'm going to put this on outer third. And I'm just going to press this in. And then I'm going to take a little bit more on my brush. Then I'm just going to pat a little bit more of the glitter on. Then I'm going to take the shade Frizzy in the Monica palette and just take this on a different brush. And I only need a little bit and I'm going to put this right in the crease. Just so it sort of gives it a bit of dimension. And then go back into Thanksgiving and just press this on the outer third. And just sort of blend it together a little bit more. So as you can see, there's actually a lot of fallout with this palette. I'm getting loads right there and on there. Some of the shades worked out really well, but Frizzy to me just looks like it has a lot of fallout that's coming out in the pan, as you can see right there. So I'm just going to dust all of this loose eyeshadow and glitter from my face, and it just dusts off really easily. And then I'm just going to blend out the edges just so it doesn't look so harsh. For the lower lash line, I'm going to do a mixture of two shades. So I'm going to take Pushover from the Rachel palette and Gala Cup from the Monica palette. These two shades are very pigmented, so you don't need to use a lot of these two. That's something that I will say. The colour, the pigmentation, the blendability of these two is really good. So I'm happy that you use that for the lower lash line. So for the inner corner, I'm going to take Clean from the Monica palette. Doesn't seem to have a lot of pigmentation, so you do need to build this one up a little bit. And then I'm also going to put this on the brow bone as well. So that is the eyeshadow completed, and I really like the way that it looks. It looks really nice and perfect for autumn, and I used quite a lot of shades from it as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my eyes, then come back and we'll test out the lip products. So I've finished off the rest of my makeup and I'm going to go ahead and go onto the lips. So with the lipsticks and the lip gloss, they both retail for £6. I just realised I also have a Rachel lipstick. I thought I only had the Monica lipstick because I really like these two shades. I feel like that I'd wear them a lot. So the Monica lip gloss that I have, this one is like a mauve, but it does have flecks of glitter in there, which I really like. I'm not sure if you can see on camera, but there are flecks of glitter, and then it just says Monica on the front there. And then with the lipsticks, this is what the packaging looks like. So it's exactly the same as eyeshadow palettes. It has the same picture on there, and then when you open them up, they're just rose gold bullets, and then on the top you can see the difference in the shades. Also, it does have the name on there as well, so you can see which one is which. So these ones look very wearable for me. So Monica is more of a mauve shade, so it's more of a pinky mauve, like a proper 90s one. And then the Rachel one, I think this one is more brown. Yeah, so this one is more of a muted brown, and that's what that looks like. So compared to each other, there is quite a lot of difference. So that is what they look like compared to each other. So with the lip glosses, you get 6 shades. You get Rachel Clear Gloss, Monica Deep Mauve Neutral, which to me doesn't really look that deep mauve, Phoebe Deep Wine, Joey Brown Tone Nude, Chandler Coral Tone Nude, and then Ross Deep Plum Tone Pink. And then with the lipsticks, you get the 3 shades, so Monica, Rachel, and Phoebe. So Phoebe is a deep pink, Monica is a soft peachy pink, and Rachel is a soft mauve. So the 2 that I got, I felt like that they look very mauve. Monica obviously is a lighter one, and then with Rachel is more of a cool tone one. So I feel like that how they've said the shades isn't exactly correct, but they're both beautiful shades. So I'm going to do some swatches of both of the lipsticks just so I can work out which one I'm going to use for this makeup look. I feel like that I don't really want to go too dark on the lips just because obviously my eyes are quite dark. So as you can see, Rachel is so much darker than Monica. Rachel is more of a purple mauve, and then Monica is more of a pink. But I do think that they both look really nice. They don't have any lip liners in the collection, but I'm one of those where I only like certain lip liners anyway. So the one that I'm going to use is Glaze by Cab Cosmetics. I use this a lot. It's my favourite one. And I'm just going to line my lips with this just so we can obviously make sure that the lipstick keeps within the lines. So that is the swatch of the lip gloss. So the lip gloss is pretty sticky at the moment, but it looks very, very similar to the Monica shade. It's more pigmented than I thought it'd be. I thought it'd probably have not much pigment at all, but it looks like it's pretty nice. I actually think I'm going to go ahead and do the Rachel lipstick because, you know, I don't usually wear lipsticks this dark, so it'd be nice to test it out and see how it looks. Also, it goes really well with the lip liner that I used as well. I like the smell of this. It smells like cupcakes. So I do like the shade of the lipstick. I do feel like it's very dark. It says that it's a mauve, but to me this is much more darker than any other mauve that I've used. It's pretty much straight up purple, but you know what? I like it. It's a shade that I wouldn't normally use, so we're going to use it for the rest of the day anyway. So with the formula, it is very matte, so it seems quite hard to apply. So with normal lipsticks from Makeup Revolution, they're very, very creamy, glide on easily, but the issue that I've noticed with those ones is that they don't really seem to stay on for very long. They tend to just go all over the face. So this is a different formula for me to test out, but it feels quite hydrating. It doesn't feel like it's going to dry out the lips. It's very pigmented. You do need to sort of go over a little bit more because of how matte it is. The scent is really nice. So far, I'm liking this. I feel like it's good, but just be aware that you do need to use more of this lipstick. You need to go over it a little bit more because it doesn't go on as easily because, like I said, it's a matte, so it's not as creamy as other lipsticks. But we're now going to go ahead and test out the lip gloss. So I'm probably going to use this on the centre of the lips just to give it a bit of dimension. But I do like the doe foot applicator. It's a very, very big doe foot applicator. I like the size of the tube as well. It's short, it's fat. I like it. And I also like the shade as well. I feel like it looks nice with this lipstick. I feel like it would go with both of the ones that I got. It's sort of making the lipstick a bit lighter than it was. But I like it. I feel like it's nice and it feels a little bit sticky. But the scent's nice again. It just smells like sweets just like the lipstick does. So I feel like it looks nice. I like it and I'm pretty happy. So now that I've used all the products, I'm going to go ahead, do some swatches and come back and give you my final review and let you know how I feel like these products have done. So this is what the makeup looks like. I've also done some swatches as well, just so I can see how all the shades work out in all the palettes, because I did use as many colours as I could on my eyes, but obviously there are some that I didn't use. So I wanted to do some swatches so I can see how they go and then also so you guys can see what it looks like as well. So the first things I'm going to talk about are the lips, just because I already know straight away how I feel about it. So with the lipsticks, it was very different to a normal formula from Makeup Revolution I've used. These ones were very matte, so you do need to go over them a little bit more than with the creamy lipsticks, but it doesn't feel sticky. It doesn't feel like it's going to budge. It doesn't feel like it's dried out my lips. I've had this on for a little bit already and it feels nice and hydrating, so that is something that I like. Also, the shades are really nice as well. So this, I didn't think I was going to like it when I did the swatch, but putting the lip gloss on as well just makes it look really nice. It's like a proper 90s shade. So this one I really like. I feel like that I'd use the Monica shade a lot more because it is more of a pinky shade, and that's just what I go for my lipstick. So that one I like as well. So the Monica and Rachel lipstick, so far I'm really liking them. So I will have to see how it goes throughout the whole day, see how long it lasts on the lips as well. I will put everything down below as well just to let you know how it goes throughout the day. But so far I'm liking these. The lip gloss, it feels nice on the lips. It doesn't feel sticky. When I first applied it, it felt a little bit sticky, but at the moment it feels pretty good, and I like the shade of it as well. Like I mentioned, I got Monica because it seemed like it was a shade that I was going to use a lot because I do like glittery lip glosses, and this one is probably the perfect one for me. So I like it. I feel like the lips look really nice together. I feel like with the lip liner that I used as well, it just paired really nicely. So for me, this lip combo is a thumbs up at the moment. Also, with the mirror, you don't have to buy it, but it's just something that I hadn't had before. I don't have a handheld mirror, and the fact that it's Friends and it's like the front door is something that I love. So this does retail for £10, so you don't have to get it. It's not something that I'd say, you know, it's revolutionary, it will change your life, but you know what, it's a handheld mirror, it works out really well, and it came very nicely packaged as well. So it's a really nice thing to have if you do like collecting things from Friends, or if you sort of like want to reminisce as well. And the last things that I'm going to talk about are the palettes. So like I said, I have all three of the palettes. I have swatched every single shade. I've used as many shades as I could on my eyes, and I feel like I did pretty good with doing the shades, and I can sort of see which ones have more fallout than others, which ones swatch better than others as well, and basically let you know which shades are good and which ones are duds. So like with all of Makeup Revolution palettes that I've tried, there are really good shades that swatch amazingly, work so well, very highly pigmented. Then you also get the ones that aren't as good as the other ones. It's just something that I've noticed with all Makeup Revolution palettes. So I'm also going to put the swatches in this video as well, just so you can see exactly what they look like. So with the Phoebe palette, there were two shades that didn't swatch as well as I thought they would. So the ones that didn't swatch well were Smelly Cat and Buffet. You can see from the swatches that they just don't have a lot of pigmentation in there. Now Smelly Cat does have more pigmentation than Buffet. I'd say that the only one that is really a dud out this palette is Buffet, just because it didn't really swatch as well as the others, and when I used it on the eye it was nice, but it didn't really have a lot of pigmentation to it. So the shades I used out of this palette on my eyes were Science Boy. I really like it. I feel like you get a lot of glitter in there, and it's very pigmented. So if you do want to use this shade, I would recommend using a glitter glue if you want it to last a lot longer. But for me, today I just decided I was going to go ahead and use it like a normal eyeshadow. I did get a lot of glitter falling out, so that is something to bear in mind. I had to pretty much get a brush on my face twice because there was a lot of fallout. Ice worked out nicely, however it wasn't as pigmented when I applied it to the eyes. The swatch looks nice, but when I was applying it to the eyes it blended out nicely. However, I did need to build it up. Lobster, I really like that as well. I thought it was a really nice shade, blended out really nicely, and I think those are the ones I used. Bike looks so nice. I feel like I'm definitely going to have to use it, especially for a 90s look as well. So with this palette, I do like it, and I feel like it's really good for spring. I don't feel like I'd get a lot of use out of it in autumn and winter, but it is perfect for spring. So if you do want to have a palette for next year, then this would be a really good thing. Also, it does have a lot of 90s shades because 90s were all about the pastel eyes. So this one is a good palette. I do like the glitter. I do like the majority of the swatches, but because it is more pastel, I'm probably not going to use it as much as the other palettes. And with the Rachel palette, I had pretty much the same experiences with the Phoebe one. So with the Rachel palette, there's only two that don't really swatch very well. So the two that don't swatch well are Shopping and Dinosaur, but I could tell from just looking at it in the pan anyway that it probably wouldn't swatch as well as the others, or it wouldn't work as well, because this Dinosaur one is very pale. So it's a very pale sort of like taupey shade. So there wasn't really a lot of pigmentation on there. It is very pastel, so that's probably why. Shopping, it looked nice on the eye and it is very white. However, when it swatched, it just didn't do as well as the other shades, but the rest of the shades I like. So the ones that I am loving mainly with the swatches and applying, definitely Pushover. Pushover is such a beautiful shade. And then also 90s, so these two I really liked. I thought that they looked really nice when I swatched. So the ones that I used on the eye were 90s, Pushover, and I think that's it. I think I only used 90s and Pushover. So Pushover, I really liked it. It was so pigmented, blended out amazingly, looked like a beautiful pink shade. And then 90s, again, worked really well. I used it on the crease and it blended nicely. It gave a really nice pop of colour as well. It is a pastel colour and it is satin. Now this one is the only palette that doesn't have a glitter in there. I do wish that Shopping was a shimmer shade, just because I feel like that it didn't swatch very well, and I feel like if it had shimmer in it then you could also use it to highlight under the brow bone. But with this palette I do actually really like it, and I feel like that it swatched really nicely. I feel like the colours that I used are very pigmented and they blended out really nicely. And the last palette is the Monica palette, and this one is the one that I was drawn to first, and this palette was actually really nice. Again, there's two shades that didn't really swatch as nice as I thought they would. So Clean and Chef, these two didn't really swatch as nice as I thought that they would. Now I did use Clean, I used it underneath the brow bone and it worked really nicely. However, there's not a lot of pigment, it's mainly just shimmer in there, and the swatches of these, the rest of the shades, are so beautiful. I used Clean, it was nice to put underneath the brow bone. Yellow Cup, loved it, very pigmented. Swatches again are pigmented as well. Frizzy, really liked it, very pigmented. And then Thanksgiving as well, and Obsessive, love these two. Obsessive is a new favourite of mine. I didn't think that I'd like it, but it's such a beautiful peachy shade, so I really do like this palette. I feel like this one is the one to go for if you want to get one palette out of the collection, because this one I feel like has more pigment. I feel like that it's more wearable as well, and I feel like there's shades in here that you can wear for every single season. So this one is my favourite out of the three. I'd say the Phoebe one is probably the one that I'd say only get if it's spring or if you like pastel shades. It's not as good as the other two. It's still nice, but I definitely prefer the Monica one. I feel like it's really good. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with the collection that Revolution have done for Friends. I feel like the things are pretty good. There are some things obviously that aren't as good as others, but I really like the lip combo. I feel like that it's really nice, and with the eyeshadow palettes as well, I really like them, and I would definitely recommend picking up the Monica one. This is the one that I love. It's my favourite one out of the three, and I feel like I'm going to get a lot of use out of it just because it's shades that I tend to use quite a lot, and there's quite a lot of different tones in here as well. It's more warm tone, but you've got ones that you can use in the summer, so you've got like the gold ones, you've also got the autumn ones down here as well. I just feel like that there's some really good shades in here. I also like that you get some transition shades as well. So overall, this palette is my favourite. Lipsticks, lip gloss, definitely recommend them. Really like the mirror as well. Mirror is great if you want to have something that is to do with Friends, if you collect things like that, and if you like Friends. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with the collection that Revolution have done. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you've tried out anything from this collection, then just comment down below to let me know how you feel about it, if you like it or if you don't. And make sure that you give this video a very big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye!